Failure is not an accident. It is not a storm that just happens to sweep through certain lives while sparing others. Failure is built, brick by brick, through small decisions, overlooked habits, and neglected disciplines. And if failure is built, then so is success. Most people fail not because they were destined to, but because they settle for the ordinary when the extraordinary was always possible. They accept comfort over growth, distraction over focus, excuses over responsibility. They dream of better, yet live in patterns that guarantee worse. They mistake movement for progress, wishes for plans, and effort for results. Why do most people fail? Because they never define what success means to them. They drift, hoping that life will one day reveal their purpose like a letter in the mail. But life does not deliver meaning, it demands you create it. Look at Thomas Edison, who failed 10,000 times before bringing light to the world. Was failure his identity? No. It was simply feedback, refinement, apprenticeship with destiny. Edison understood what most never grasp: every failed attempt was not a grave but a stepping stone. Most people give up at the first rejection, the first setback, the first difficulty. They confuse pain with punishment, when in truth pain is a teacher, sometimes the only teacher willing to tell us the truth. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than most men ever dared enter. He faced defeat, heartbreak, bankruptcy, and grief so heavy it could have crushed him into silence. Yet he rose again, not because he was unscarred, but because he understood scars are proof you're still alive, still in the fight. Most people fail because they see scars as shame. Lincoln saw them as credentials. Carnegie began poor, working in factories where soot filled his lungs and despair filled the air. Yet he did not curse his circumstances. He studied, he disciplined, he refused to let poverty decide his future. He mastered the art of turning obstacles into instruments. Most people fail because they see walls, successful people see doors waiting to be carved out of those walls. And what about Walt Disney, fired for lacking imagination? Imagine if he believed that verdict. Imagine if he had accepted the world's opinion as final. There would be no magic kingdoms, no dreams painted on screens, no empire of wonder. Most people fail because they surrender their destiny to the opinions of others, never realizing that critics build no monuments, skeptics write no symphonies, doubters create no legacies. So, what separates the few who rise from the many who fall? It is not luck. It is not genius. It is clarity. Clarity of vision, clarity of purpose, clarity of values. The masses wander because they never choose a destination. They are like ships without a rudder, carried wherever the tide of circumstance flows. Success belongs to those who take the wheel, who chart a course, who sail through storms with eyes fixed on the horizon. You cannot win if you do not know what game you are playing. You cannot succeed if you are unclear about what success means to you. Most people fail because they chase someone else's dream, climb someone else's ladder, live someone else's script. And when they finally reach the top, they realize the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Your task is different. You must decide. You must define. You must declare what your life will stand for. Purpose is not given, it is chosen. And once chosen, it must be protected with the ferocity of a lion guarding its cubs. But clarity without discipline is like a vision written in sand. This is where most stumble. They dream big, but they live small. They write resolutions but abandon them in weeks. They mistake intensity for consistency. But greatness does not come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do relentlessly. Henry Ford was not the first to dream of building cars. But he was the first to discipline himself to systematize production, to refine the process until automobiles became affordable for the masses. He understood that vision without execution is hallucination. Most people fail because they never marry their dreams to discipline. They expect harvest without planting, results without sacrifice, rewards without responsibility. Discipline is the bridge between intentions and reality. Without it, even the most beautiful dreams decay into regret. And regret, my friend, is the heaviest chain a human can carry. But here is the truth that should ignite your spirit: you are not condemned to repeat the mistakes of the many. You are not destined to fail simply because most do. You have the power to choose differently, to live deliberately, to walk a path most will not dare tread. You have the ability to become the rare exception, the one who does not fail, the one who rises, the one who fulfills the call written deep within their soul. And it begins with a decision. No more drifting. No more excuses. No more surrendering your future to chance. The world does not need another person lost in mediocrity. The world needs you, fully alive, fully awake, fully committed. The world needs you to prove that success is not reserved for the chosen few but for the few who choose.